Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. Today we have a bit of a theme going on here, and how do I put this? So there are scenarios, there's situations where you're kind of tunnel visioning and you're trying to take on a ship that, by all intents and purposes, you don't really have a great chance of dealing with. But, you know, because you focused in on these things, it just kind of goes that way. So, I'll get clearer once we get to it. In the first battle, I am in my Akizuki, and it's a tier 8 battle. We're up against Odin, Amagi, Gneisenau, Mayhem, and an Akka on the enemy team. Now, obviously, Odin being a very, very dangerous ship, it's one to have to keep an eye out, but we are playing on Aurora in Domination. Now, the Akizuki is not your typical Japanese destroyer, it's an HE spammer. It's a ship that is extremely good at running away from something and setting it on fire at long range. So we are spawning on the right side. I'm probably going to head over into Sea Cup just to check out what's going on there. I do have a Black Gascogne and a Gneisenau of our own, and which means I'm going to go do the scouting, because these are bot carriers. They're not going to scout, so they will only start launching their planes once something is actually spotted. So getting the first spot in is a good thing. Engine boost up and full ahead into Sea Cup. Team calls out to capture C. Yep, that's exactly where I'm heading. So let's see who we can find there and what we can deal with, what we can do against it. Now with 2 destroyers, we're going to be probably running either into the Mayhem or into the Akka. The Mayhem has smoke. I'm not sure about the Akka, if the Akka gets smoke or if it's just the Kagro. But we have 2 battleships, so I'm already getting ready to, you know, kite away from them. And just slowing down here a little bit, cupping and smoking up. Oh, there's the Mayhem actually spotted. Now, the Mayhem, I'm not sure if he doesn't realize that I'm here, because I'm in my smoke screen. But I'm starting to shoot at him, so he should know that I'm here. So Mayhem smokes up as well. Which is fair enough. So I'm going to be blind firing in the smoke. I do have to be careful with torpedoes. Okay, set the Mayhem on fire. Mayhem Damacons. And he actually leaves his smoke. So I'm not sure what he's trying to do now. It looks like he's trying to torpedo the Gneisenau. Maybe he was hydroed. And the Gneisenau looks like he's going to take a lot of Mayhem torps. But the Mayhem's not looking the other way. So that's a dead Mayhem. Okay, that's a good start. Now we do need to get the Nagato there out of the way, even though it's just a bot. Because bots are, you know, still shooting at things. And I want that thing just out of the way so it doesn't draw fire. Now, our Gneisenau has taken a lot of damage from the Mayhem and seems to be running completely suicidal into 3 battleships. So that's a dead Gneisenau. Which means I'm actually going to have to back up a little bit and be careful that we're not getting overwhelmed here. But we are holding the capture circle. I just have to make sure that bot goes away, and then we can deal with the rest. Yes, predictably, the Gneisenau has died, which means that it's now the Black Gascogne against 3. Let's make that against 2, so that Nagato is going to burn down. Don't need to shoot at him anymore. And yeah, Black Gascogne is on full health, but he's now has the concentrated attention from a Gneisenau and from an Amagi, I believe, that was there as well. So our Black Gascogne is now going defensive and is taking the hits, and the Gneisenau at this close range can be pretty dangerous to a French battleship. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to smoke up the Black Gascogne to give him some breathing space, and then we're going to drop some torpedoes into the general direction of the Gneisenau. Now there is an island in the way, so the Gneisenau is accelerating, but I'm going to shoot at the Amagi just to mislead him a bit and try to get the Gneisenau out of the picture, so maybe the Black Gascogne can deal with the Amagi on his own. So we'll at least make that a fair fight, sort of. Now, I have managed to hit the Gneisenau, take about half his health down, and cause a flat. Now, I am in 3-kilometer range of a Gneisenau, which is a very dangerous thing to be for a destroyer, because the Gneisenau is a pretty dangerous ship at close range. And the Gneisenau is, I'm not sure if these are the auto-secondaries or if these are the mains. No, those were the auto-secondaries. I think the mains were, he's got high explosive loaded on the mains. The problem is, his damage control is on cooldown. And the Gneisenau is a fast ship, but you're trying to chase a destroyer, and you're not going to catch me. And I am going to burn you down, right? There's literally, if I was going to be stupid and just sail broadside on and give him a clean target to shoot at, then that would be a relatively easy thing to do. But not doing that. So the Gneisenau is now sort of, tunnel visioning in on trying to kill me, which is a valiant thing to do. I mean, killing a destroyer is a good thing. The problem is, I can play this at longer ranges as well and literally just burn him down. And there's not an awful lot he can do. So I'm outside the range of his secondaries. The 150mm AP is actually more dangerous than the main guns. And yeah, I'm just going to kill him from here. There's not an awful lot he can do about it. Meanwhile, our Black Gascogne has gotten some reinforcements and from the friendly Amagi, which means that the enemy Amagi is now, and I don't know where the Odin is, but the enemy Amagi is now on the run. So yeah, what are you going to do in a situation like this while we're dealing with the rest of the team? I mean, honestly, they didn't stand a chance. I'm not sure if the Odin is AFK because we haven't seen him the whole battle, but they didn't stand a chance the moment that Mayhem died in the very beginning of the game, even though our Gneisenau died very quickly after that. But they haven't had any cap control, and yeah, what are you going to do in a situation like that? Don't do this, right? So, for example, if the Gneisenau had either had either been disengaging and waiting for his damage control to get back off cooldown, or has been helping the Amagi against the Black Gascogne, this might have actually turned out still differently. Now, I'm not saying that's the fault of the Gneisenau or anything like that. While I'm going to start looking for the carrier and that remaining battleship. It's easy to make these kind of calls outside the heat of the battle, but if your damage control is on cooldown, and you know that the ship you're facing up against is an AG spammer, and you also know that you're not having necessarily a great chance of actually killing that thing, it can always be a good decision to just disengage and do something else, like, for example, help out in the capture circle. But yeah, like I said, in hindsight, this is always extremely easy to say, and that happens to me as well. But especially with these sort of ships that are very good at being chased, so this goes for things like destroyers, which can be pretty hard to hit. So unless you're in a rapid firing light cruiser or something, giving chase on a destroyer can be very difficult. This goes for things like Japanese cruisers, which have usually pretty good rear torpedo angles, lots of torpedoes, and can fire lots of high explosive as well. So there are situations where giving chase, and yeah, there's the Odin who's AFK. The team never stood a chance. The enemy team, unfortunately, never stood a chance. But yeah, as counterintuitive as it sounds, sometimes giving chase against the destroyer is not the right thing to do. So there goes the carrier, that's the Kraken, and yeah, given that the Odin was AFK, I think the game has literally just ended here. And or did we just win on? We might have just won on points, but yeah, that's one of those situations. So like I said, it doesn't just apply to destroyers. This sort of thing can also apply to cruisers, especially AG spammers. And cruisers have a bit of a harder time sometimes getting away, but let me show you what I'm talking about. In the second battle, I'm out in the Shores, and the Shores is the Tier 7 Soviet light cruiser, and is a pretty good AG spammer, because that thing's got 12 150mm guns with a pretty good fire chance. We're up against Prinz Eitel Friedrich, New Mexico, Sirius, Budioni, and Farragut. Now, you'd think, I mean, you'd say after the previous battle, probably, look, being in a battleship or in a fast battle cruiser chasing after a destroyer, maybe not the best choice. But surely, in a battle cruiser or fast battleship, if you're up against a light cruiser, this should be the target of your choice, right? Well, let's see how this turns out. So I am spawning all the way on the left side. We're gonna head over to A because the Shores is very, very quick. The Soviet cruisers tend to be rather on the fast side. I'm not sure what I have with me here because I can't quite see it yet. Is that one of the bots? Could be one of the bots. I'm switching to armor piercing because if I get a destroyer to shoot at, then I'll be happy to do that. I think that's a bot. Yes, that's a bot. So we'll be heading over to A, but carefully, because depending on where the enemy team is positioning. Now, there's a decent chance that some of them are going to show up in A-Cup, but depending on how much opposition I'm going to face here, I might have to disengage and get into hiding and do some other things. So we already know that there's a cruiser in the battleship, and there's the Prinz Eitel Friedrich. Okay, I'm spotted, so we are going to... And there's the Sirius as well. Okay, so we're running into all the enemy team here. Okay, full on turn, switch over to the high explosive, and we need to get out of here. Now, the Sirius is, with a Prinz Eitel Friedrich, I'm not going to go anywhere near that capture circle, because I don't want to fight that thing on close engagement. A single fire from the Sirius, not going to damage on that. There's the Farragut, but can't deal with the Farragut right now, because that would mean I'm getting into close range of the Prinz Eitel Friedrich. So we're going to sail away. So right now my team is holding... we're holding C cap, and it looks like the enemy team is very heavily invested here. So the Prinz Eitel Friedrich is focusing on me. Now, once again, you could say 7 kilometers, pretty good range against the light cruiser. These are good guns. I can actually damage control this. He shot one of my turrets off. I can damage control this because I'm not actually being under fire by anything that sets me on fire or causes flooding. So in that case, it's not a high risk. And now the permafires are starting on the Prinz Eitel Friedrich, and he's going to get utterly frustrated. I mean, he is still hitting me occasionally, but he's going to have a really, really hard time if I'm not making stupid mistakes, like sailing at close range broadside on. But if I'm keeping my range up against that thing, he really doesn't have much of a chance. Now, I'm slowing down here, so trying to get him to overshoot in front. That's another double fire, but he damage controls that. Oh, that was actually a decent salvo. Yeah, that was not bad. And now I'm actually going to go in reverse, because I don't want to go forward anymore. Because forward is the map edge, and he could cage me in there. Now, one thing that slightly confuses me here is, why is he not rushing me? I mean, yes, I have torpedoes, but ideally, in an engagement like this, you want to fight me at close range. You want to fight me at like 6 kilometers or something, which is outside my torpedo range, but well inside your secondary range, and you can get it. And I'm gonna have a devil of a time evading. But instead, the Prinz Eitel Friedrich opts to try and fight me at long range. And at long range, he really doesn't stand a chance of doing an awful lot of damage to me. So at this point, I'm just really going to burn him down, and I am in reverse here because once again, I need to leave my. I need to not get caged in. I don't know if that was the plan here, to get me caged into the in the map border, but Prinz Eitel Friedrich is not that quick. I mean, she's quick for a tier 6 German, but she's not that quick. So we're just gonna burn that thing down from here, and just stay bow in. So most of the time, his shots are going to either miss or over penetrate on the bow section, depending on where he can hit me, and that should be pretty much the end of it. There he is. So yeah, that's one down. My team has been managing to hold on to B cap, and we still got 3 minutes in the battle. So even though I'm a little bit far from everything, and I haven't really done my duty here of dealing with destroyers, we have gotten the Prinz Eitel Friedrich destroyed, and now I'm going to head back to A cap and help out the rest of my team there, because once again, the Shores is a very, very fast ship. In a straight line, I don't know what she does, like 37 knots or something. We'll see in a second. So I've still got one heal. I've still got almost 9,000 hit points. So, and that Andrea Doria has got enough health, and is also not doing a suicidal push. So yeah, 36.5 knots on a straight line is nothing to sneeze at. Now I'm switching armor piercing because we have 2 more cruisers to deal with, but we have a very comfortable points lead at this point. So if that destroyer isn't able to do very much in the other in the B cap, and we still have one of our cruiser, yep, the Devonshire takes out the Farragut, well done. Then it's not a huge issue for one to be a little bit outside for a while. There's the Budionis. Let's start shooting up. I've switched back to the HE because there's New Mexico, and the enemy team at this point doesn't really have a choice, because they're down to 3 ships, and they're not going to win this anymore. This is a one battle at this point. It's just a matter of cleaning up. But yeah, might have been useful to have a tier 6 German battle cruiser, but you know how it goes. Again, I'm not criticizing individual players here, right? It's not like that one player's moves are making or breaking the game, and I've also not done the things that I was actually setting out to do, which was to deal with the destroyers. But The point I'm trying to make is that if you are up against a ship that if you're up against a ship that excels at a certain playstyle, and you're letting that ship play to its strength, then you might sometimes be better off just letting them be, just disengaging them. Like if you're in a battleship and you're being HE spammed by a Worcester, don't go chase after it. The Worcester try to be out of range, outrange that thing. Don't play to their strength, right? So that's just kind of one of those things that I noticed a couple of times. So like I said, I'm also guilty of that. Occasionally, I also just put the blinds down, and I'm just going, okay, I really want that guy dead now. It's pissed me off. But yeah, sometimes it's if you want to do it, then try not to play to their strength, or don't do it at all, and see if you can be more useful somewhere else. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.